Pub Battles, Gettysburg, Day 1. That is the end of turn 1 movement. The only combat is here, and Buford simply elects to fall back. His whole point was to delay. He's cav, and cavalry facing infantry has the option of falling back before any combat. Turn 2. That is the end of turn 2 movement. Reynolds' corps has been racing up. They're still in column. Reynolds' baggage has dropped off back here. Buford's cavalry is once again trying to delay on the hill. Speaking of hill, AP Hill moves forward. Again, Buford simply falls back. Turn 3. Turn 3 movement is done. Here we see Hill's corps building up some strength here and some momentum. Reynolds' first corps is preparing to receive, but they're going to be flanked if they don't fall back. And Ewell's coming on next turn. Heth and Raleigh are having it out on the flank here. They both do 1 damage, so they're both spent. Now at this point, if either side were to actually lose a unit, this is critical. It gets magnified this early in the game when there's so few units on the board. The first option to retreat is to the defender. Raleigh elects to retreat. Alright, turn 4 movement is done. With Howard's arrival, Reynolds continues fall back, a fighting retreat, as the South begins its accelerated assault. Fresh troops from Hill's corps hit Reynolds' spent troops. Reynolds' gambit pays off. Heth's fresh troops are spent. His spent troops merely withdraw. Fighting retreat. Turn 5. Into turn 5 movement, Union continues to fall back. Howard is forming up on Cemetery Hill, and there actually has been a lot of implied fighting. The South was drawn first, so they ran right into First Corps, and then First Corps was drawn afterwards and allowed to just retreat a minimal amount. So it was basically a fighting withdrawal with no decisive combat. Turn 6. Alright, end of turn 6 movement. Lines are forming up here, and up here, Ewell is pushing the envelope. Air troops were unable to fall back to cover, so there's no modifier. The Union has no cover on defense. Apparently, the Union needs no cover on defense. Heavy fighting. Both sides take losses they can't afford at this point. Knowing the position lost, Robinson falls back rather than risk heavier fighting. Turn 7. Alright, turn 7 combat. Ewell is pushing hard. Forward, Lee and AP Hill are here chatting a bit. Here's the brain trust of the Union, figuring out what they're gonna do. Bam! Driven back. Bam! Steinward's division fought bravely, but folded up like a wet towel in the end. Bam! Critical end of turn 7 sees Union driven back. Both sides have lost 2 blocks, one of which is the elite Union block. They should recover this evening. But there's still 1 more turn left, and this does not look good for the North. They'd like to be holding on the Cemetery Hill, but that's not going to happen. Turn 8. In one snafu for the South, Hill's baggage was still on the road, and the rest of the reinforcements came up, so rather than being able to fill up the way they'd like to, they're now clogging the road. On turn 8, if Longstreet gets drawn before, he won't even be able to get on the board. The North could use that kind of mess up. The South has been getting a lot of breaks here. Alright, end of turn 8 movement. End of movement for the day. The South continues to push in the center. 3rd and 12th Corps are coming on to stabilize the flanks at least. But Reynolds is hatching a plan. He wants to set up a defense further south to allow the North to concentrate more quickly, stretch out the South, and then hammer them. We'll see how that works out. Bam! Reynolds' corps inflicts some grievous losses on Hill's corps as he pushes forward, but they ultimately fall back. There's a plan. And over here, Hill and Howard have it out. Bam! Howard's troops push them back. That is the end of day one. The South seems in order. A.P. Hill's Corps has been fighting since this morning, so they're starting to get broken up here. They're really missing Anderson's division, but they had to pull off the road so that Longstreet could come on. They'll be catching up. Longstreet is planning on coming on through and pushing around on the Confederate left. These are the losses for the day. Now half of those will be coming back in the evening. So we'll see the recovery of the Union Elite Division, and the South will have to decide if they want to bring back Rhodes' division completely, or a little bit of Rhodes and a little bit of Pender, giving A.P. Hill a little advantage. Let's begin the night turn. For the Union, the night turn will see Hancock and Meade arriving, as well as all of the Union artillery. Alright, end of the night move. Of significant note, 3rd Corps baggage has unpacked. Now Heth had to move, so he did not rally, but the other half of Heth's Corps did rally. Now the Union is not sure where they want their artillery to go yet, but they want to get them on as far as possible so that when 1st Corps comes on first thing in the morning, or excuse me, 6th Corps comes on first thing in the morning, they can get up they can move ahead as far as possible. The Federals aren't sure yet where they want to unpack their baggage. They've got some spent units. Reynolds' entire corps is spent. We'll see how that falls out. Day 2. Alright, so in movement on turn 1. Confederate side, 1st Corps is moving out onto the flank, although the Union is expanding on that flank as well. Of note, the Union has unpacked bags. The South now has a target to gun for. Bam! Early gets hit and rides off. Bam! 12th Corps is exhausted, but Hood's Texans are gone. Turn 1, that hurts. Turn 2. A.P. Hill pushes on Union left. Heth is driven back into the artillery. Bam! South is driven back, but the North takes heavy losses. Turn 3. Turn 3 movement is done. Ewell presses hard in the center. Bam! Howard's Corps does a stellar defense. Bam! Raleigh's driven back. Turn 4 and things are desperate in the center. Alright, here we are, turn 4, and there's a huge fight here in the center. Bam! The Federals hold. Bam! Gary's held back. One more combat for turn 4. Bam! Hancock's Corps is driven back. Turn 5. Alright, at the end of turn 5, we see one little attack over here in the far Confederate right. Sickles' 3rd Corps has been eliminated, and Anderson's division has also been reduced. That was some desperate fighting on the flank. At turn 6, the Union gets another full corps. Sedgwick's 6th Corps shows up. All that's left to enter the battle now is cavalry in the night. Turn 6. Ewell and A.P. Hill are still pushing on the Confederate right. Bam! Heavy fighting, the attack fails. Bam! The artillery is lost, but Heth is driven back. Bam! A hole is open in the Union line, but Ewell's Corps is too weakened to get through it. Turn 7. Now there's an open path to the northern baggage. If 2nd Corps, the only ones that can reach it this turn, if 2nd Corps gets drawn before any of these northern corps can respond to it, this will be the last turn. 12th Corps guards the bags. Alright, turn 7. The day is closing. Federals are rushing on a huge gambit that the remaining troops here can hold. The South is almost spent. Heth's spent division is all that's left of A.P. Hill's Corps. Bam! A.P. Hill's entire corps, except for the artillery, is gone. There's very little Federal troops left, but there's nothing really for the South. Bam! The exhausted troops on the right just can't. They're just exhausted. Wadsworth was flanked, falls back with losses. Bam! The Federal attack is not successful and they fall back before taking heavy casualties. This is the end of turn 7. Turn 8, last turn of day 2. The North is going to try to push forward with its 2 corps, the 5th and the 6th, that came in earlier today, and see if they can make some headway. We'll see what losses. There'll be a lot of losses to recover tonight. Turn 8. 5th Corps tries to drive Longstreet's Corps out of cover before nightfall. Bam! 6th Corps runs into stiff resistance in the woods. Bam! And 5th Corps drives the remnants of Hood's division out of the woods. Day 2, night. Turn 1. I'm once again going to have a difficult time getting the very edges of this map. Up here, you see some combat going to happen over here perhaps. And then over here, we have Stuart's cavalry coming down here to go around this flank. And just off the map, you see Pleasanton's cavalry coming around. They're just off the map, coming up, hopefully to come back out here and meet them. Also in the night, they recovered most of A.P. Hill's 3rd Corps. So there's going to be renewed effort on the Confederate right. Union is planning a drive on the Confederate left. Now we've got a Union baggage here, Union baggage here, Confederate baggage here, Confederate baggage here, unpacked. Those will be the fighting points. A lot of chits to draw for this huge battle. Turn 1 combat. Here the Union is preparing for their assault a little later, maybe next turn. Down here the cavalry is coming up on both flanks, meeting each other. And in the center, Ewell is making another drive, trying to break through to the baggage, trying to break the Union line. Heavy fighting. They break through. The North takes heavy casualties, but the South is driven back. Turn 2. Now here again, the bags are exposed. We have 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Corps on the Federal side that could protect it if they get drawn first. If 2nd Corps gets drawn first, it's the end of the battle. Slocum contacts the bags. The South's line is broken. Battles all along the line, which could adjust the points. We'll see how this works out. Oh! 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 Alright, the South is broken. We see the North's casualties. 1 artillery and 4 divisions. South has 1 artillery, 5 divisions, plus an elite division and 2 detachments. So even without the multiplier, the North is victorious. Then you triple that because they broke the army, captured the baggage, and yes, this has been a major Northern victory. There you have it. Early morning, 3rd day, Northern victory.